Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 39, and
Yep.
it is Thursday, October the 12th.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, not today.
Yeah, but maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Is it going to be Jason or is it going to be Jason's mom? Like,
It's gonna be Jason's dad.
okay. That was on like Red Letter Media. They did their like Friday the 13th talk and their like hypothetical Friday the 13th the series would be about Jason's dad.
Wasn't there already a Friday the 13th, the series?
I don't know, probably on the Sci-Fi Channel. Like
I
if
think there was. It was like Tales from the Crypt, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
But were they
Are
all
you afraid of the dark?
Jasons?
No, they weren't. Like, I don't even think Jason was in it.
Well, that's garbage. Like at least the Five
Yeah.
Nights at Freddy's like books always have to like shoehorn in like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics that are evil in their plots because it's like okay,
Yeah.
it's like uh-oh, this person made a wish and the monkey paw witch was bad, but the monkey paw was also a Chuck E. Cheese that they found like an abandoned like something.
was was literally an animatronic monkey's paw from a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, like at least because that's the point.
Yep.
That's like the point. Anyway, yeah. So that's happening. That's Friday the 13th.
What's your favorite Friday the 13th?
I haven't really seen any. Like that's one I haven't
Oh.
seen any of them.
Uh,
What's your
yeah, that's kind of
share
where
the
I'm at.
yeah like
So there's, there's only two correct answers. The best one and the worst one.
oh
And the best one is the first one,
and then you say Jason X.
and the no, and the worst one is Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, is that the one where he punches that guy's head off?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, that one seems pretty good.
A guy he tries to box Jason with hockey mask on, and he is punching him in the face.
Like
And then he says, "Give me your best shot," and Jason knocks his literal block off.
because I like the first one seems more interesting as like
Kevin Bacon's in it.
well, it's in the twist that it's like the mom that went
Mm-hmm.
insane as the slasher. It's like okay, there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a twist. It's not just the big man, the deformed, mentally challenged big man who's going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I kind of like the idea in one of them where like the lady like pretends to be his mom and that like messes him up. I'm like, okay, that's like cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cute gag. Something you can't do with Freddy Krueger.
I think that's the second one.
Yeah, yeah, that's like bag Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, like the third one, it's not even Jason. It's just like a dude. There's one of
No, the
them.
third one's where Jason gets the hockey mask.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he steal. Yeah, I don't know. Like I only know because I've seen like the Red Letter Media retrospective. So keep in mind, this is
Yeah.
like I do
This is
not.
secondhand
This is
information.
secondhand information to a movie series that I really have no interest in other than to watch people talk about. Like I'm not gonna watch
Yeah,
these movies.
like Nightmare on Elm Street is a way better film series.
Oh, by far, because it's more interesting, and like one, the kills are better. Two, it gets more campy and weird. Also, I think Freddy is far more like terrifying than Jason because like Freddy is a dream monster who might get you. Even the basic conundrum of the thing is will attack me when I'm sleeping, so I have to stay awake and figure out how to like fix it before like that time limit aspect of Friday the third. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think is cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What was it? Oh god, I was watching something where they talked about like it. Oh yeah, it was also Red Letter Media where they're talking about like the new Exorcist movie
Mm-hmm.
and the idea in the new Exorcist movie Spoilers for the new Exorcist movie, where
Kevin, I think you mean spoilers for the new Red Letter Media.
okay, spoilers for the Red Letter Media review of the new Exorcist movie, where the key plot point is that all the religions have to team up to fight the demon. Or they have to get like a Catholic exorcist, like a Jewish guy, like a Buddhist monk, like all the religions, and then they said that was like the joke in the Leslie Nielsen Exorcist parody, but they did it for real.
It's just so bad.
Like and they were saying like, well, what makes the demon not scary is if it's not like the scary part of the demon is it has specific rules and specific things to do. Because the first Exorcist is like she tries all like the medicine part and it don't work. Like the CAT scan don't work, the psychologists don't work, the drugs don't work, so she gotta gut a young priest and an old priest to figure it out. And it doesn't work if you just get all the religions, they team up. Like if all the religions team up, then it's like, well, what are you supposed to do? It's the
Yeah, like there's no rules anywhere that says all the religions need to team up.
yeah. Or even just like it's the horror monster or thing where like if there's no escape, then there's no like fear in it. Like even the Saw movies, the gimmick is they're supposed to, at least they're, and like until they figure they lose there's supposed to be a way out.
Yeah, it depends on who's setting your
Yeah,
trap.
but ideally there's supposed to be a way out because then you're actually trying. Like if they put on the thing that's gonna rip off your jaw and then it's just like it's just gonna do it. Like
If
yeah,
they
that
put that
sucks.
one trap on for the 15th time,
Yeah.
because that's the most iconic trap, and
Yeah,
they keep recycling
yeah,
it.
you gotta have that one. Like if you block me in the box and it's gonna fill with needles and razor blades and snakes, and I'm gonna be like, well, like, can I get out of the box? And they say no. Like I'm not gonna like it. I am going to be terrified. Like being in the box is terrifying, but watching the box is not terrifying. It's just like, okay, you put me in the hydraulic press and it's coming down. There you go.
Yep.
Speaking of the hydraulic press coming down, Homestuck came back. Homestuck came back. Did you read the new Homestuck, or did you try to read like Homestuck 2 Part 1 or whatever?
So yeah, that's where I started, was just the Homestuck 2 thing, because I was like unsure about where the new stuff started. I was like, well, it's like, hold up, this is not the new stuff. This is I have read and seen this before.
Yeah.
I've blocked it out, but no, this is. I do think it's funny where the first reader command is stop making Homestuck. That was
No, that's a good. There's like some okay gags and japes.
And then it stops being funny. It's just like, oh my god, stop typing so much.
Also, I think so like the where it starts, it just says beyond canon in the log, or you can see the update days. And one of the key differences between I'm gonna say, let's just say Beyond Canon is new Homestuck and Homestuck 2/Epilogues is the old one, is that there are not walls of text. Like the longest chat log in the new updates, which is between Solix and John, is like a third of the average one, where it's just like, yeah, it's and there's jokes, there's gags, the visual.
Like, I think it's kind of funny that Dirk, in his irony, gets to replace images with like actual narration.
Yeah. Oh,
but that's the problem with Homestuck already. Is there's too many words for a webcomic.
Oh, there's so much.
You're out here making Togashi look like a minimalist,
dude. Like that's why to me the epilogues are unreadable. Besides the content that happens in the epilogues, which is also bad. But just like it's just like the worst parts of Homestuck just encapsulated, where here's just walls of text, and you're like, I hate it. I do respect that the crew in Homestuck Beyond Canon is not throwing out the epilogues. Personally, I would have. Like, if I'm having to, my Homestuck 3 colon battle royale ignores the epilogues and it just says no, we're just not doing that. It's gone. But like, man, I do like, but it's just such a tonal thing. Like I like,
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
like Terezi's little her own self thing. So do you know what's going on there? Do you want me to
Yeah,
explain?
like Homestuck, they repackage everything a dozen times to make sure you don't miss it.
Yeah. Do you know why Terezi has the wallet and what's inside the wallet?
Nope, I have no idea about that.
Okay, so like in one of the awful epilogues, that's the part where there's the meat and candy. So there's like two different universes going on here. Meat and candy. Even though they're
Hmm.
all kind of verging into one, because that's kind of the point, because it's too complicated. Because there's like two sets of peoples around. So there's like in like Candy, there's Dave and Carcat who are in gay relationship, but then in Meat, there's like Robot Dave who is sent to the alternate timeline to kill Dirk by Obama. This happens, but yeah, inside the wallet there is a dead John basically, and the my assumption is that Terezi wants to revive that dead John because that's the dead John in the Meat that is active, whereas the John we see is like the passive kind of like weenie John. At least that's my fan
Okay.
theory. So my fan theory is that Terezi wants to revive like heroic John to save
Good
the day.
John.
Yeah, basically good John. She wants to that's her whole point, and she's playing like a game of like Spurb with Dave and Dirk and
Robo J
yeah,
Rose.
Robot Rose, because they're trying to do kind of like their thing. I feel like Dirk's plan is he wants to make a game of Spurb and then steal the narrative because that's what people want. It's like, and then Terezi's like, I'm going to use that because Spurb lets you just shenanigans, and I'm going to revive a heroic John to save the day. That's my like called shot.
Do people like Dirk?
Um, no, I think that's why they made him a villain. Some people, so some people did because Dirk was one of the like first openly gay characters, not
Hmm.
like male homosexual, because like I think
I know.
Rose and Kanaya were like actually gay first,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
like the idea of that people were like, okay, here's our representation character, it's Dirk, and people didn't
Hmm.
like that he became like the villain instantly or like that kind of deal. But like
Did
for
he become the villain?
he kind of is becoming the villain.
Okay, but not in Homestuck
No, this is like
original.
epilogue. Epilogue Dirk becomes
Okay.
the villain. In Homestuck, he kind of like reflects on his like self and it, like reflects on like bro, which listening to I've been listening to like Homestuck Made This World. I'm getting near the end of it. I agree with several of their takes. Some I
Yeah, I'm
just
still in. I'm still in. I think I'm finishing Act 5, Act 2 podcast right now.
yeah. I'm like 3 to go. But like yeah, there's and the idea is like you can see like issues where like apparently in like the Apple spoilers for Homestuck Made This World, where they talk about how Hussey in the books refers to mom and bro as Roxy and like Dirk.
Uh-huh.
When I agree with them, those characters were supposed to be like iconographic, like dad in that show or in that
Yeah.
comic. Or like
Yep.
they are not like Roxy is not mom. Mom is like a
Hmm.
stand-in of like an icon, like John's dad and like bro. Like those are not like
Yeah.
characters that you need to like backfill.
It's like how they call her like Mind Fang when she's like the classic pirate, and then when Frisk actually meets the teenage version. Her
Yeah,
name's like Aranya.
Arania. Yeah,
So like they're different characters. They're like the same biologically, but they're different characters.
yeah. And it's just kind of what happens when you've been going on for so long and you've tried to like backfill in your own twist, which means you've created
Mm-hmm.
issues. Like there's there
Mm-hmm.
like there is the log where Dave talks about how living with Bro kind of sucks and he didn't like it. And while I do like Dave's like speech there, I think it's an interesting idea of Dave as like Dave matures, grows, and deals with like his past. Like
Mm-hmm.
the tone of the comic was not that at that time, and that's like where
No, it was
like
not.
my problem. My problem was that like Homestuck's Act 1 through 4 were silly and goofy, and
Mm-hmm.
then once you get to like Act 5 and 6, they start to become more serious, and you're trying to like backfill where it's like no, like Rose and Roxy have alcohol problems because mom was like a joke of like a martini sipping 1950s house mom, which is the
Yep.
opposite of like her kind of goth daughter. Like that's the whole joke. It's not
Mm-hmm.
there's no story there. It's just like a joke like don't you see? Don't you see how John is this goofy kid with his serious businessman dad? The contrast.
Also, I just feel like Roxy being an alcoholic does not fit the flavor of the webcomic at
Oh, it
all.
doesn't. There's so many things that are like weird that like don't work. I think in general the alpha kids don't work.
Mm-hmm.
I think like all of them just don't work at all. And I would say the one that works the least is the Dancestors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Those trolls are garbage and kind of get removed. Like Mina stays and Arania stays. The rest are like get out of here.
I like Rufio.
Rufio is okay as a joke, as a one note joke. But yeah, and it's there's this issues. But I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's coming back. I'm glad it seems to be decent. I have high hopes. Basically, like the hopes have been drowned so far. So like next thing on my manifest list is good World of Warcraft or good Pokemon.
Good luck with that, Kevin.
Yeah. I said it on a Discord, but I'll say it on the podcast because I think it's a funny anecdote, but also real. Where like I'm waiting to see what like the BlizzCon announcements are for World of Warcraft because if it looks like it's bad, then I'll have to start consider trying to go on a date again. Because if World of Warcraft is good, then I don't need to do that. But if World of Warcraft's bad, then I'm
Why
gonna
if
have
you
to.
go on a date in World of
No,
Warcraft?
well, okay, that would be the ideal. But World of Warcraft has to be good for that possibility.
Uh-huh.
Like you can't go like current bland WoW, like that's not gonna work. You're not gonna have that happen. World of Warcraft needs to be good. Pokemon needs to be good. But then you can start trying to like but ladies play it though. Work that angle. But yeah, man.
I just
No, you go. Say something.
I just don't know if WoW can ever be good again, Kevin.
I'm actually there with you. As someone who played so much MMOs, like I don't know if any MMO can be good again.
Like it's just a different batch of gamers now.
It's gamers, it's corporate, it's like internet. We're in a weird internet now
Yeah.
where like socialization is also like there and it's just like I just don't know. It's one of those things like I
Yep.
think about like what would the perfect MMO be and I don't have answers for it. Like a lot of other games and stuff like I do have answers for like what I think would make it like really good.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the MMO it's like I can't because a lot of the I think the strongest issue with MMOs is that regular game design that you would think would be good in all aspects like fails in an MMO. Like making a thing where getting into a dungeon sucks. So how about we put a thing in game where you can like join a queue and automatically get into a dungeon is
Mm.
like on paper really good because it saves time and effort and problems. But in practice is bad because that stops your community. And it
Yep.
also stops the idea of if you made your group to the dungeon and you go to the dungeon and have a miserable time in there, like no one wants that. But then the time you go to the dungeon, it takes forever, and that dungeon went okay. Like the next time, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to add these people to my friends list because I had that terrible dungeon and I don't want that. So I need to have people of minimum competence and be friendly with them to do for future dungeons because I don't want to go the bad group.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's one of those things where it's like you can't design the like okay, we're gonna have to design this game so that it'll suck super hard, so to make you appreciate it when it doesn't suck super hard. And I like that's impossible. I can't figure it out. I'm not smart enough.
Yeah. Jeff Gershman was talking about when he would like try to play Payday 2 and he'd queue up and join, and then it's only people who just keep grinding that game. So as soon as he like fucks up like in the first 2 minutes, they just all left.
That
And
that
that's what the Payday 2 experience is.
and that's the same as like the MMO WoW experience. Like if you want to try to do a
Mm-hmm.
dungeon, like people just start going. Like you can't be like, "Hey gang, what are we even doing here? How's this fight work?" Now they're already done it because they've done it like 700 times, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't get in there anymore. And it's like I don't know how you fix that. I really don't know
Yeah.
how you fix that, or even if you can, if that's just like a death knell of like, yo, this thing should just be dead.
Mm-hmm.
It should be murdered, kicked to the curb.
And you can't even solve it by like reworking them,
No, because
because the internet is such a thing now that like the new guide for optimization will be out almost immediately.
yeah, and it's not even like it'll be out, but it'll be like done, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
just be like oh, I don't know, like there are no secrets. And also, it's stuff. Oh man, so this kind of dovetails into a thing that just across to my thing, where where apparently there's this recent news about old Bobby Kotick and whatever, where he did like a fake interview with Jeremy Corbyn in front of his staff to talk about Activision Blizzard. So imagine like the
Okay.
CEO is like, I'm gonna get fake Jeremy Corbyn and we're gonna say what we think the future of our business is. And Drew, can you guess what the future of the Activision Blizzard business is?
Being sold to Microsoft?
That is part of it. Do you think there's anything else in there? What other words do you think that he talked about?
AI.
That's correct. Okay, so that's like the obvious ones, but then there are two that are not obvious.
Mm.
And the two that are not obvious are The Return of Guitar Hero,
Okay.
because now's the time, apparently. And
Yeah.
of course, the smartest of them all. Even smarter than
Fixing
AI.
that Tony Hawk game servers?
Listen, Drew, what if instead of fixing that Tony Hawk game servers, we could integrate with Elon Musk Neuralink so you could get in the
Oh
Tony
my
Hawks?
god.
That is one of the things he was talking about. He's like, man, with Neuralink, it's going to be incredible. You'll be able to have even more gaming experiences.
I want to know how much he was paid for that commercial, because
Uh,
that's all that is.
so what I'm here for is, I think, similar to how I think it's a superb idea to take a submersible down to the Titanic. I think we can all agree
Uh-huh.
that's like a really good idea. If you're wealthy,
Yep.
you should do it. You should do it.
Yep. Yep.
I think
And not that one in Australia, just like any old
I
mom
think
and
yeah,
pop
no, if someone's
submersible.
yeah, support local businesses.
Yeah.
I think if you are a wealthy billionaire, which is like I know, like same thing. But I think you should show us plebeians how it's done. And you should put that Elon Musk Neuralink inside
Uh,
your brain. I think Elon should be number one to do it. He should like that's gonna show everyone how good it is. You got to go
yep.
under the knife and you put that thing in your
Yep.
brain.
You got to put your money where your mouth is.
I think,
You believe in this technology, Emu, you got to do it.
I think so. Like to be even slightly generous. If he did it and it turned out even somewhat okay, I'm not going to do it. But I'll give him some slight props if he's the first one to do it.
Uh-huh.
I think we could all say, like, listen, if he's the one that's gonna say, here, I'm gonna put in my brain implant, and it's working, then we're gonna go, good job. I think Bobby Kotick should also do it. I think all the people.
Yep.
Did you see that Rigatello or whatever got like removed from from Unity after trying to like
Yep.
ruin it and
Yep.
basically ruining it?
Yep, he ruined it. He didn't try, he did.
No, like people.
Every game studio right now that's using Unity is saying, "Okay, after this game, we're getting off Unity if they're
Yep.
too far in."
No, they're yeah. It's from what I can tell that basically all they've done is like, okay, instead of completely trashing it, we'll finish up and then trash it. Like that's
Uh-huh.
I've seen it's like no, this is gone because once you did it once, you're gonna try it again. We all know you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
try it again. Maybe not him,
Yep.
but someone's gonna try. They're gonna be like, hey, gang,
Yep. Someone's gonna say the problem wasn't what we tried to do; it's how we did it.
we tried too much. You didn't boil the frog long enough. You gotta boil that
Yep.
frog. You got to boil that frog so hard, and then you're going to be like, there you go. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. In my armchair CEO, armchair evil CEO chat, his mistake was that he didn't limit that to mobile. I feel like if they tried to do that install license feed and they left it to like Unity Mobile, I don't think it would have gotten as much backlash because I don't think like
Yeah.
the general gaming crowd would have cared. Like if you're like saying, "Yo, we're trying to do this to
Yeah.
get some of that Genshin Impact money," I think most people like I don't have loyalty to Genshin Impact. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
But when you're
And
like,
then a lot of the people who are just like phone gamers
"Oh, they don't know."
aren't savvy enough on the top subjects anyway.
Yeah, they don't know who John Riccatello is.
Yeah.
Like Among Us is going to be upset, but like I think so that would have been my like evil CEO. It's like no, you got to explicitly say this is for
Mm-hmm.
mobile and free to play games. This is not for using Unity to make a full priced release.
And then after a set amount of time, you try to roll that out on PCs afterwards.
Well, yeah, of course. Like I mean, that's how you boil the frog. You start creeping in there.
Yep.
Like you go like listen, we're gonna implement like a completely free tier, and that free tier is gonna have the ads, but like you can pay for like Unity license and then you won't have to do the ads at all,
Yeah.
and then the ads start creeping into like the Unity one, but not like the professional
Mm-hmm.
one. All right, like not that
But
one.
yeah, then it's like, oh hey, we're getting rid of the basic subscription one, so that's just now it's gonna be tied into the ad version,
Yeah.
and but the professional still doesn't have ads, but it costs $5 more per month.
Yeah, but it's a subscription itself. So, but if you're like a bigger, like, see, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's what Netflix did.
Oh God, stupid Netflix.
Netflix got rid of their basic plan, and now it's only ad version is their basic plan.
That's what we rock on Hulu now is ad Hulu, and man, ad Hulu
Man,
kind of sucks.
I'm getting close to piracy again.
Well, because it's all this crap, and they're all trying to like if your streaming service has like one show, then I'm not gonna care. Like already, I don't care. A lot of streaming like I just don't like. I'm like
Yeah,
fine, screw it. It's also like I'm still
I have two subscriptions. Yeah, I have two subscriptions.
I have like zero. I think no, I have my Netflix one, but that's still used by like my dad, so
Yeah.
that's fine. But like I have no subscription. If I had to pick a subscription, if somehow YouTube figures out to like thwart uBlock Origin, then I will be forced to like I'll be forced to have to do a YouTube subscription.
Which is weird because like Twitch kind of gets around it already.
I know like Twitch gets around it, and I kind of
I
hate
hate
it.
it.
Like I barely watch Twitch anymore. Like I used to just would always have on a Twitch stream, and now it's like only if it's very specific.
Yep.
And I have to be doing something very specific. Like I need to be it has to be something where I'm doing like my Magic the Gathering daily quest in the evening and a stream or event is going on.
Hmm.
But otherwise like I don't just like leave it on like I used to cuz it's
Yep.
I don't want ads.
Yep.
I will like with like Pat and Paige and stuff, I still like their streams, but I just watch the VODs on YouTube because I get them ad free.
Hmm.
And it's not and there's no time sensitivity.
Nope.
No, like yo, here's where they played the question game where they had to answer questions in front of the stream. Like yo, that'll be good. I'll just watch
Hmm.
that. It
Cap,
ain't
Cap,
live.
Capcom Fighters switched or didn't even switch, just started like simultaneously streaming to both YouTube and Twitch, and it's like, oh, sick! I'm just gonna watch this on YouTube.
Yep. And it says something that when you've made YouTube good because YouTube is not good. Let's be
No,
real.
it's not.
YouTube bad.
Uh huh. That algorithm is garbage.
Oh, it's really bad. It keeps trying to sneak in like white nationalism. I don't like
Like I
that.
don't know. I don't know what I have done, but I've somehow broken it even more to where all it recommends to me are like things I already have in playlists.
Okay, that's good.
And, well, it's not though, because it means there's no new videos for me to actually consider. It's just like, oh, it's this video I watched 5 seconds of. It's like a Homestuck Flash, a music video of like a specific like the Flash song, and like just stuff I've already viewed, and it's like YouTube. What the hell is? What's? Are you okay?
You all right, YouTube?
I
Because some of my stuff,
don't know.
like most of my stuff, is good. I'll say most of my like
Mm,
recommends are like fine, and I've actually gotten
yeah,
some videos from like sidebar recommends.
yeah.
Usually, I'll click on someone's Homestuck like thing, and then I'll see like another one. I'm like, I'll click on that one, and I'll watch that one. I'm like, yo, that was okay. I wanna give props to one I really enjoyed because of it. It's not the best one, but it in concept I really enjoyed it. I'm looking it up right now. It was okay by Playhead North.
I need
She did a video. You probably heard a bit of it when I clicked on it, but she did a
Nope.
video where she did like a three like a one like a 90-minute video talking about reading all of Homestuck in 9 days, and
That sounds awful.
it's like the whole video is structured where she does like regular acts where she does her react video, which is just like Homestuck reaction gifs. And then in the intermission, she discusses her feelings on the actual comic. And then it devolves into some time shenanigan bit. And it's like, yeah, that's the true Homestuck experience. Where you're trying to do like a stupid joke, and then you go on a tangent, and then time shenanigans, and you're like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then she did another video, which is a 3-hour react to that video, which is stupid. But I respect the gimmick, the hustle, the gimmick, respect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been doing that. I've also I'm watching the Range Touch guys video on Undertale
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I got to. That's like that's like the companion piece.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna listen to them read every Stephen King book because I don't care about it.
No, you should do shelved by genre. That's actually that's the kind of deep cut stuff that you should actually listen to them.
Just sell it to me. What is that?
So like I've listened to I think just maybe the first episode of it, but hold up, let me pull up my podcast app. I can't remember. So like shelved by genre are like genre fiction books. So like those like weird fantasy books that are somehow influential, but like so the
I would describe I Have No Mouth and I'm a Screen as genre, where it's like it's a little short story, but it keeps coming back.
yeah, this is not that. This is like this is the Book of the New Sun is the like first season they're doing, and these are like those massive fantasy tomes.
Oh, is this like the thing where it's not like is this like the Babylon 5 to Star Trek?
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
you're like everyone knows Star Trek, but the real losers are like way into Babylon 5.
Yes. Yes.
And but that because the real losers are into it, it's Babylon 5 keeps reverberating in strange places.
Uh-huh. And so this one, it's actually Cameron, Michael, and Austin Walker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a heavy hitter. Man, they should have got Austin Walker in the Homestuck one. That would have turned it to like a
Yep.
to from like a 9 to like a 10.
Mm-hmm. That would have been power
No,
play.
okay, here's the bit. I should have. Oh man, I can't do it. So you have three perspectives. You have Michael who what read it in the past. You have Cameron who's reading it in the present, and then you have Austin who's there and he doesn't read it at all and he's just sitting in the podcast. So
You're like, man, that sounds crazy.
yeah. Austin's perspective is a guy hearing two other guys talk about it and how he responds to this.
But I think Austin has just read Homestuck is the problem.
Yeah. I'm saying that would be the next level gimmick.
Yeah.
Is you have some guy who just is there to listen to a tertiary response, and what is their response to it? How do you feel about the verse course? Man, Homestuck is so good, but also not very good. I don't know. It's not great, but it has its claws in me. It really has its
Listen,
like.
I'm.
All right,
I know you like it a whole lot.
Oh, it got.
I don't think you like Homestuck so much as the setting and the canvas it gives you to paint with.
It's the idea of Homestuck I like a lot. It's as someone who is like notoriously I hate social gatherings. I really it is a struggle for me to do it like mentally. Not like uh not like complete struggle if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like 50% struggle.
It's an uphill bike ride.
There you go. Yeah, you're riding that bike uphill, and you can still get up that hill, but you're in like the lower gears, and you're like, man, I don't like this at all.
Yeah. This sucks.
This is terrible. I hate riding my bike up the hill. But that's kind of, but it's not like impossible to ride the bike up the hill. That's like actual, like social anxiety issues. Even though I've had some of that. Like there's a one time in high school where we were doing like a play meetup when I was in the drama department, which I know what you're thinking. Why would you be in the drama department if you hate social gatherings and stuff? And that is a good question.
I think everyone's been in high school and knows the drama department what that entails.
Yeah, it's just like shenanigans. But it's also one of the wonderful hypocrisies I have. Where like despite being like very introverted and hating to go outside, I have like no fear of public speaking. I don't know how that happened, But I've never been afraid of like, yeah, fine, I'll just get up and give a speech or do something. I don't care. And I'm like, I don't know what mental gymnastics how that works, but it just does.
Yeah.
But I remember because they did some like party or something, and I distinctly remember go to it, talking with people, going back to my car after it, and then like breaking down and crying because I was like I felt so alone and scared. But only
Oh.
afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay. Because that was one of those that was like I remember that distinctly because it was such like a bizarre feeling of like, is this a panic attack? Why am I having a
Mm-hmm.
panic attack now? And not under any other circumstances where I should have been having panic attacks.
Yeah, especially like after the fact.
Yeah, it wasn't like during it. Like if it was
Yeah.
during it and I had to go, at least my brain was like, okay. But this was like sitting in the car and I had like a breakdown. I'm like, what the hell? I've had that happen a couple times. I think that's just my survival instinct. I'm very strong in the moment. I don't show weakness.
I'm not gonna blink at the predator. I'm not
No.
gonna give them the
No,
satisfaction.
I'll fight the predator, and then when it's over, I'm just gonna like curl up into a fetal position and cry.
I'm gonna let all my stress out so I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, I guess so. So when Freddy comes into my dream, be like, "Hey, Freddy, what's up?" He'll be like, "Oh, I don't know. What like I feel like no, because I'm too old for Freddy Krueger right now. Because he only
Yeah.
goes after teens, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like
Yep. I mean, specifically, he was only going after teens of or kids of the people who murdered him.
yeah.
But then at some point, they they said, this is the last one too many times. And so then it's like, oh, I guess he could just, now he's murdering all the
Yeah,
kids.
he's just free. Yeah, he just goes whatever. You got that one where he's
Yep.
like possessing that guy. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's Freddy too.
I
That's the gayest horror movie, like literally, in like
No, I
a
think that one's like one of the
progressive
more
way,
interesting ones.
affirmative way.
Like if I had to say like Freddy tier list, it's like 1, 2, and New Nightmare are the ones that like activated my neurons. I'm like, oh, that's fascinating.
So, so no, three's on that list too, because like that's the one in the like sleep institution.
Okay, that's cool.
Um, and it's the one that also sets up the like more fun kills. The like, oh, this is like your personality quirk, and so that's how we're
Is
gonna
that the
use
one
to
where
kill
like the
you.
girl has an eating disorder, so he like makes her explode with food?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I
it's
think
it's
that's
the
that one.
iron. Was that yeah? It's like here's the ironic death. Is that
Uh
the
huh.
where it's like oh you're afraid of
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
thank you
The most classic of Freddy kills.
where Freddy just goes weird. Yeah,
Yeah. Also,
I like a good ironic death.
uh-huh. I like the guy who gets killed by sleepwalking, where Freddy is like puppeteering him, and like in his dream he's got his tendons like ripped out and being literally puppeteered, and
Oh
then just
hell yeah!
but in real life he's just
I
like sleepwalking, and people think he's just a sleepwalker.
oh that's good. Like I appreciate that. Well done, Friday the 13th. Yours truly the terrible horror franchise that we enjoy. I don't know. I like the whimsy. A little bit of whimsy.
Yeah,
Did you read the
that's
latest
that's
two?
what. Sorry, I was gonna say that's what I like about Italian giallo films, because they have that like bit of like, especially like Dario Argento movies have this like
Well, it's the whimsy and it's the
surrealness to
surreal. Yeah, the
them.
surreal.
Yeah,
And like to
it's like
me,
it feels like a horrifying dream.
yeah, like that. Because to me, like the inherentness of your it. I mean, we could dovetail this into other stuff. Yeah, but the inherent like fear is of the nightmare dream where it doesn't make sense and it's like
Hmm.
fantastic. Like
But your brain is trying to make it make
yeah,
sense.
and it's like that's what is like scary because the whole point is like Like, I think it's the scariest thing that could happen is a man with a knife shows up and is going to stab you. He is very large.
Uh
Like, that's scary. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not
yeah.
like living in fear of it. I think no. I think the example I said was like a bear. I think that's
Well, also, no, I was gonna say, but if you were afraid of that, you would just have a gun license and a concealed carry permit.
yeah, but I'm not afraid of
That's
that.
that's the people who have guns. That's what and carry permits. That's why.
Yeah. Or what am I trying to say? Like a loud barking dog is scary.
Uh huh.
It is
Uh huh.
scary, but I'm not afraid of all dogs.
Yeah, I can take a dog in a fight. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be a clean and perfect way, but I can take a dog in a fight.
I would say I could take a dog in a fight until it hits my weight class, then it's done.
Then we have a problem.
No,
But
we
like,
have a problem. Once animal hits my weight class, it's done.
yeah,
Or above weight class, then it's super done.
yes, then it's very done. Like when I said dog, not a wolf. I cannot take
Nope.
a
No,
wolf
I'm
in a
dead. It's
fight.
done. If a wolf is growling at me, I'm like, well, this is it. Like a bear is angry and it wants to eat. I'm done.
Is there sand nearby? Can I throw sand in its face?
Yeah, can I like can I make a loud noise? Go
Yeah.
"Arr."
Open my jacket and look big.
Look larger than I am. But no, that's no, it's done. But yeah, it's like but that surreal dream where it's like, nah. Because listen, I've had night like
Hmm.
it's I think we've all had like nightmares that are scary but are not
Yeah.
like actually scary.
Yeah.
Like I mean the old faithful is I've woken up in a literal like fear sweat when I had a dream where I went to school in my underpants. Like I just got to school and I was walking in and then I had like on my boxer shorts instead of pants and like how am I going to get out of this situation?
How
It
embarrassing.
was embarrassing. I'm like, "Oh, how am I supposed to I'm like trying to hide it. I can't really play it off. I'm like doing like a stealth mission. Like, okay, I need to get to the office and tell them I just forgot my pants. And then they can give
But
me.
then it's dream logic, so hallways don't make sense like they should.
Well, yeah, and it just didn't work. And then it was just like, and it wasn't like people were there laughing at me. It was like all the hallways were empty, like class
But
was
the
going
threat
on.
was looming.
Oh yeah, it was like I'm like okay, I'm between classes. Class is going on. I am in the hallway. I'm in my underpants. I need to solve this problem. There is a looming clock. Right now, it is a problem, but it's not a severe problem.
Yeah, that's one of those two where it's like your dream knows if people show up and laugh, then all the tension is broken. It's like, oh, this isn't so bad actually.
Yeah, no. It's the idea of like if you fell, if it's like if you fall. I just remember just distinctly where a guy like fell down in the cafeteria and then he smashed and then he spilled like ketchup and mustard all over his face. Everyone pointed and laughing, and he just kind of shrugged and went to like the office because it's
Yeah.
like it's like well yeah it happened. Like yeah it's kind of stupid. I'm not like running out of here like I'm not mortified, but like what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just gotta go. Gotta say like yeah I did this. Can I like get a new shirt from the office? You have a couple.
You have a lost and found, right? Can I rummage through it?
You have emergency shirts and pants that at least most schools do.
Yeah.
There's usually like a couple where it's like, okay, you like crapped yourself. Here you go.
Yep.
Which is like, sometimes you gotta crap yourself. Because of usually health issues. Like it's not like if you get real sick, that could happen. Or you throw up. Usually it's throw up. That's like the one. I should have went with like coming out the top than the bottom.
No, there was a guy and that no one liked, but like one of those oblivious ones who thinks people likes him and they don't.
Ah
And
yeah.
he pooped himself at lunch once, and it was funny.
Oh well, that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it is.
it's pretty funny.
He sharded.
Like Because if you're like, I don't know, I have sympathy if it's like a medical problem or the person is not terrible.
Yes.
Like if it's like, oh, okay, we'll fix that up for you. Or like, yeah, you literally couldn't help it. That's not a big deal. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, what about Gollum? Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Oh
that
yeah, so
article about
Gollum.
Gollum.
Listen, you thought the video game was bad? Wait till you hear about the studio environment.
The crunch, the like underpaid, the
Yep.
idea where you took like basically a crew that made like a mobile adventure game and you said you're now making a 3D AAA like Lord of the Rings game and your budget is not like,
A AAA game's budget.
yeah, like, so figure it out. Also, you're the Gollum game.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
It's like, all right, crew, you did really good work on like Frog Math Adventure 2 for iPad. You are now in charge of the Dobby game. You are going to be doing a Dobby experience, and your budget is $16 million, and it will be due in 4 months.
Like, I can get how you come up with the idea of, oh, well, what if we explored Lord of the Rings through, like, a different viewpoint? And, like, so obviously Gollum's one of the top viewpoints you could consider. But, like, at some point you have to say, but who wants this?
No one
Will
wanted
this even,
Gollum.
yeah, will this even be enjoyable?
I mean, even if you made it like a stealth game, like Thief or
Yeah.
whatever. But
I'm sorry, the best the Gollum game could have been was a Telltale game.
yeah, like, yeah, there's like a game a while back. It was like Styx the Goblin or something, and it was supposed to be like you're like a goblin thief who's like stealing stuff,
Yeah.
and the whole like crux was like the old thief games, except you're in a fantasy world and you're a goblin, so like you can't attack people because they can kill you
Yeah.
like instantly. I guess you could have done that with Gollum, but like it's weird how that like the Gollum game takes place mostly in like prison. It's like a prison simulator.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Gollum escaped from Butcher Bay. Instead of
Yeah.
being Vin Diesel, you're a Gollum.
Yeah.
It's like that's no. You want to see like you would rather Gollum Origins, where you see the tragedy of how Smeagol became the Gollum
Uh-huh.
and how he's like using his power. Like, see, that's what you would do, and you'd have various tasks around the Shire, and then like you'd have that like, yo,
He's not a hobbit, he's a river people.
well, all right, wherever. We're at his village. I thought he was a hobbit.
No, he's a river something.
Really?
They're like related to hobbits, but they're not hobbits.
All right, well, whatever. You're a Smeagol, and you're doing your thing, and like, because didn't Smeagol, or maybe it might think of a movie, like kill someone to like
Yep,
get
to
the
get the
ring?
ring, yeah, someone else got it first, and Smeagol's like, no, it's mine.
So like the whole game of Gollum should be basically he is enchanted with the ring, he kills that guy, and now he has it. And the entire game is him trying to cover up that murder and how like it spirals out of control and him having to use the ring more and more to get out of situations.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like, okay, Gollum, you killed that man, but now you're right there, he's dead and people are coming, so he puts on the ring and leaves. But then like another one of the rare people is like, weren't you the guy who was out there like fishing with him? Did you see anything? And then Gollum freaks out and he kills again, and like it kills and goes
Yeah,
and
just see it
goes.
like get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, like that's to me that is what the Gollum game should have been. It's like a
Yep.
narrative descent. And the whole point is during your narrative descent, there is this win button called the One Ring. And if you put it on, you can solve problems real easy.
Oh,
But the more
but
it creates,
you should not want to put it on.
no, it real bad. But the game, see how I would do from the game narrative is I would force you to put it on. Like there's like Like I would force you to be in unwinnable situations that like require that ring to be put on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, to me, in your ludonarrative dissonance, like if you could perfect run Gollum and never put on the ring, then there's no point. Like if you're just that suave, because then you wouldn't have killed your other river people friend to kill the ring.
Yes.
That means that Gollum is so resistant to the ring that he would be just no. He has to put that thing on. You can try for, and I would let you if I was making like I'd let you get through like several like of this like murder convoluted cover up like way further than you'd think. But then it's like nah, you're in jail now. You got to put on that ring.
And you also just have to make it so miserable too.
Yeah,
Like it is just total flex, like grinding it. Or you just put the ring on and just, oh, you did it.
you also do have to put in situations where Gollum can help his like river people friends by like putting on the ring. So like, yo, that girl Gollum likes, she's being harassed by this dude. And it'd be really good if you could just like put on that ring, maybe hit his legs with like a like a crowbar.
Yeah.
And then you're
Go to
like,
town.
wow, that was a shame. Like you got to make it like Gollum, like I saved him, I helped
Mm-hmm.
him out. That family's sick, and their house
And
got
maybe,
repossessed. Maybe I could just go rob and take money. We'll never suspect an
maybe,
invisible person.
yeah.
Like
You
what?
can't
The
hold them
guard's just gonna
accountable.
see a thing floating out, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell's that?" It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Uh, but,
Gollum, was that you?
all
Were
right,
you
then.
invisible? He's like, no,
No.
clearly.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
All right, see ya. Thanks for chatting.
Yep. Yep.
Bye.
Later days.